can't. Let me look at. And it's like I can't even see on my phone that I'm live, so I don't know. It is. That I'm live, so I don't know. I don't even care. I don't even feel like doing this mess. So alright, I know I'm live, so alright. I was trying to give people time to get on, but if they don't, that's fine. I'll just practice it by myself. Alright, so 10 solo female travel safety tips. Solo travel is one of the best ways for women to explore the world, become more confident and empowered travelers. Um, there's nothing like solo traveling. Like the empowerment that you feel when you travel by yourself is completely different than when you are traveling with a group of people or a spouse. It's just different. It gives you a different type of energy, a different type of confidence in yourself when you can just go somewhere, explore it on your own. You're on your own time. You have your own schedule. You just can do whatever you want to do. Let your hair down. Live your best life. Do what you want to do whenever you feel like it. If you don't feel like doing anything, you can do that. If you want to sleep into noon, you can do that. If you want to wake up at 6 a.m. and do everything on your list all day long, you can do that. If you want to take a nap in the middle of the day, there's like, it's whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. But this world is crazy. And though everybody wants to enjoy themselves and experience life, we still have to be mindful of the fact that we have to be aware of our safety. So, I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to travel safely while being solo. So, first off, keep your valuables hidden. Your purse, if you're going to carry a purse, it needs to be something that either a crossover bag or a fanny pack or a money belt, something that you can tuck away, put across you, around you, to make your valuables more secure. Like anything you can do to make it more difficult for someone to snatch your bag and run, that's what you need to do. Don't use your phone out in public, especially in like certain foreign countries. It's not really safe to have your phone out. It's not really safe to carry things in your pocket, especially your back pocket, because they have pickpockets who will snatch your items and run. So just be mindful of your surroundings and keep your valuables hidden when you are not using them. So you don't want anyone to snatch your bag or steal your phone, because they will snatch anything that's handy and run off with it, because phones are valuable. Things that people carry in their handbag and purse are valuable. So a thief will by any means snatch it and run off with it. So just be careful using your phone out, your camera. If you the type of person who likes to carry a camera, most people don't carry cameras anymore because everybody uses their cell phone for everything. But if you are the type of person who likes to carry a camera, be mindful of having your camera out in your hand, on your wrist, around your neck, and be aware of your surroundings, making sure that nobody grabs your stuff while you're out and about traveling. Tip number two, avoid traveling at night. Now, this is kind of specific to the place, because some places are okay to be out at night alone. I mean, it just kind of depends on the area, but by all means, whether you're going out in day or night, you need to be mindful of your surroundings and pay attention to the people that are in your vicinity, especially people who are within arm's reach, or, you know, at this point people are like, stay 6 feet away from me. But even so, people who are in or near your personal space, be mindful and aware of what's going on around you, more so at night, because it's easier, because it's less, you're less visible. Things are less visible at nighttime, so people tend to commit crimes and do things to people when it's dark. So at nighttime, be mindful of your surroundings. Try not to be out and about at night unless you're in an area that you're familiar with and maybe a good amount of people are out and around. So just, be aware of your surroundings and making sure that you are in an area where there's not a threat. So it's normally fine, to go out and about, in the tourist areas near or around your hotel, maybe it might be okay to be out and about around your hotel area. If you're on a resort, you let you a lot. I don't want to say safer, but you may not have to be as vigilant because you're kind of in this little space of your own, so to speak. But definitely, if you are traveling in some type of major city or even a small town, because there might not even be a lot of people out for to even like try to assist you. So just be aware of yourself at night. Try not to go out and about at night. Even be mindful of when you're getting into taxi cabs, Lyfts, Ubers, any type of ride share. Being mindful of, who the driver is, making sure you're getting in the right car and all that type of stuff. I know Lyft. I'm not sure about Uber, but I use Lyft on most of my trips. So you definitely can share your location every time you get into a Lyft car. So if you can set up your your app on your Lyft app to share your location to, your best friend, your spouse, your mom, dad, cousin, whoever, to just share your location with at least one other person, if not several, so that when you get in and out of a Lyft, they are notified that you got in this vehicle with this identifying information, just to be on the safe side in case anything goes wrong. There's somebody who is aware of where you are and, where you are supposed to be. So just try to avoid going out at night, but if you do, make sure that somebody else knows who you're with and what route you're going and that type of thing. So if something does happen for some reason, you have someone has a starting point to say, this is where she was, this is the time it was, and that somebody has a starting point to start to look to try to find out what happened and where you are. Tip number 3 is learn emergency phrases. This doesn't really apply if you're just traveling in your own country, but if you are traveling somewhere else that doesn't speak your native language, then you need to learn emergency phrases, even if it's just 2 or 3. How to ask for help, how to tell someone you're lost, to get directions, how to tell someone, hey, I need police or the ambulance or something. So just learning small key phrases to be able to tell someone it's an emergency, you need assistance, or to ask for directions, that sort of thing. Just to even like not being able to read street signs and stuff, you can at least have enough language to be able to ask someone for help. Tip number 4, make friends with hotel staff. Now this could come in handy if you need some extra hoopla, like, something happened in my room, or you want some type of special something. Oh, it's my birthday. Can I get a special whatever? Can you decorate my room for me or something like that? If you're making friends with the hotel staff, you have, access, you have a personal relationship with them to ask for amenities, if you would like to. They can also help you with navigating the city or town or whatever that you're in, because they should be locals and therefore they would be pretty knowledgeable about the area and things to do, places to go, the hot spots or the hidden gems in town that you should see or visit, or places to eat, where you can get certain things from. The hotel staff will be very helpful if you can build a rapport with them. It will be helpful too for you to be able to add to like areas that you shouldn't visit, places that you should stay away from, or places that it's okay for you to go during the day but you can't go there at night, it's not safe. That type of information you will be able to get from your hotel staff, because that's probably, if you're traveling solo, going to be the only people that so to speak, in that area. So that will be a great idea as far as building some type of rapport with the hotel staff, especially people who like work at the front desk, um even like the janitorial staff and stuff like that. If you might need like something extra in your room, or you want something extra, if you're friendly to them, then they might be more willing to accommodate your request. Also, when you're staying in a hotel, um I saw something like this happen. Some viral video I watched. Some ladies were on a girls' trip at a hotel, and they had somehow some strange men had gotten their hotel room and a key from the front desk staff. So be very mindful of saying your room number in the lobby or any public areas, because even though it's not hotel policy for people to pass out hotel room keys to people who are not on the reservation, it happens. It's possible. They just say, "Oh, I need a key to room 100," and here you go. So be mindful of not saying your hotel room inside the lobby or public areas, because you don't want strangers to know how to get to you or find you in the hotel. You can also like make a memo or notify the hotel before you arrive to let them know that you're traveling solo, so they have like a little heads up. So be mindful or aware of that situation. The next tip is let someone know your travel plans. So this goes along with the sharing your location when you take Uber or Lyft or something like that. But also just letting someone at home know, hey, these are my plans. I'm going to this event on this day at this time. Or even if you're just running out of, just going sightseeing, just, send a text, make a phone call. Hey, I'm going to this area of town today, or I'm in this area of town right now. To just keep someone updated on your whereabouts. So, like I said, if something does happen, they know, well, the last time I spoke to her, she was in this area doing this particular activity or at this particular event. So somebody knows how to locate you or where to start looking for you if they indeed need to track you down. You can also, if you're a U.S. Citizen, you can use the app Smart Travel Enrollment Program to they call it's STEP for short, but you can register with them. If you're like out of the country, you can register with them to be registered with the local U.S. embassy or the U.S. consulate, so that they know that you're traveling in this country, in this area or whatever. So if something does happen, then your family or whoever can contact them to let them know, hey, we haven't talked to this person or heard from this person, and they can start to look for you. Also, get travel insurance. This is just a extra tidbit. Get travel insurance because with all of the things that are going on right now in the travel industry, flights being delayed and canceled and all that type of stuff, travel insurance is very helpful to help you rebook missed flights, cancel flights, because you don't want to get somewhere and be stuck. And especially with all of the restrictions and testing and all of that stuff going on, if you do have to go somewhere and be quarantined and can't come back home when you intended to, a lot of travel insurance will some travel insurances will cover your quarantine stay. So just be mindful of that. And if you choose to purchase travel insurance, make sure that they have a quarantine clause in your insurance policy that will cover if you have to be quarantined and stay beyond your intended travel dates. The next tip is stay alert and keep looking confident. When you're out traveling out and about, you don't want to look like a tourist. Like, because if someone knows, oh, one, she's by herself, two, she's a tourist, you become a target. Like, you make yourself a target, because if they know that you're not familiar with where you are, the criminal mind will use that to their advantage. So just be mindful of, not to act, quote unquote, like a tourist. I mean, of course, you're on vacation, you going to like take pictures and all of that stuff, but just kind of be mindful of your surroundings and, make yourself as familiar as you can with your surroundings as quickly as possible, especially if you're staying, a week or so. By day number 2 or 3, you should kind of be familiar with at least the area that you're staying in, if not, everywhere that you're visiting. But just be mindful of not looking like a tourist, because then you kind of get targeted. So just be aware of your surroundings. If something feel weird, like somebody look like they up to something, don't second guess yourself. Go with your first mind, your good instinct, and remove yourself from the situation as quickly as possible, as safely as possible. Don't say, don't second guess yourself and think, well, maybe it's not really that. If you have a bad vibe or a weird feeling or something doesn't feel right, listen to your intuition and act accordingly. Also, no conversation points to avoid. This probably sound weird, but you don't want to get into any type of arguments or debates with, you're by yourself, some stranger, you're getting into some type of argument or debate with somebody about something they feel strongly about. Just avoid all of that. I mean, I'm not telling you not to talk to people or meet people while you're traveling, because it's perfectly fine. Meet people. That's how people meet new friends, find new travel partners or whatever. But just be mindful of the types of conversations you have and the topics that you choose to discuss with strangers. That's all I'm going to say about that, because, child. Make copies of your travel documents, especially your passport. If you're traveling out of the country, please make copies of your passport. Leave a copy with someone who you can call to say, hey, my passport is lost and I need you to send me that copy ASAP. Because anything could happen. You could lose it. You could have your stuff stolen. So you don't want the only copy of your passport to be the one that you have possession of. You want to have at least a copy of it that someone can email you, mail you, fax you, something, so that you can prove that is who you are. And most cases, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe that you could go to the U.S. Embassy to get a new passport if it's lost and there's an embassy near where you're traveling. But just always leave a copy of your passport somewhere with someone at home, just in case. You may never need it, but it's better to have it and not need it, to need it and not have it. You can save it to your computer. You can email it to your best friend, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your friend, whoever. Just make sure there's an extra copy of it somewhere that someone can get to you in the event that you need it. That's the same for if you have to get some type of visa to travel. Make sure you take your real one, but leave a copy with your passport copy with somebody else who can get it to you in the event that it's lost or damaged or whatever, and you need to have a replacement copy. Um, Emergency numbers. Make sure you keep emergency numbers in your phone. Any type of emergency contact. Most phones have a favorites list. So your emergency contacts, put them on your favorites list. Even if they're not usually on your favorites list, when you're traveling, throw them on your favorites list. The top 5 or whatever, top 3, top 2, at least 1 or 2 people on your favorites list that someone can call in the event that something happens. Because if you get injured or sick or whatever abroad or even just in another state, someone needs to be able to call someone to say, hey, this happened to this person, we need to notify family, friends, or whatever. We need to notify the next of kin. So if you're sick or for some reason you need medical treatment and you can't contact your family, there'll be an emergency contact for someone to contact them for you. Also, when you're traveling abroad, you can if you don't have like international calling on your phone, you can always get like a pay-as-you-go SIM card in most countries to use while you're there. And then just make sure that you have whatever local emergency numbers there are, because of course the U.S. is 911, but I'm sure that other countries are not 911. So just make sure that you're aware of local emergency numbers for the ambulance, police, fire. I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably won't have to call the fire department, but just in case, make sure you have the 3 main emergency numbers in whatever country you're traveling in. The next tip is don't let music distract you. Not just music, but don't let anything distract you. This goes back to like being aware of your surroundings. I mean, it's okay to do something else while you're out and about, but just don't be on your phone unaware of what's going on around you. Don't wear earbuds or headphones that's going to keep you from being able to hear what's going on around you, because that makes you vulnerable when you can't be fully aware of your surroundings. Even like if you're on the bus or even in your lift, like just you still need to kind of be aware. Even if you're like in a lower seat and you're taking the subway or a taxi or whatever the case may be, you still need to be aware of your surroundings. I know I keep saying that, but it's very important that you be aware of your surroundings. Like, be alert, be vigilant. And also, like, like I said, don't have like expensive stuff. You don't want to travel with your Beats out in public, because especially like I said, in a foreign country, because it makes you vulnerable to somebody wanting to rob you or snatch your stuff and run or that type of thing. So just be mindful of your surroundings. Keep that in mind. Yeah, be aware of your surroundings. Make sure someone knows where you are at all times if possible. Share your location. Most iPhones can share their location. If you don't have an iPhone, you can definitely share your location with Google Maps. I've done it before. You can share your location with Google Maps. It will let you add as many people as you need to or want to share your location. Share your location with your device if you have an iPhone. Make sure somebody knows where you're going, when, the general vicinity of where you're supposed to be. Just in case something happens, they know, like, this is where she was. This is where she said she was going. This is, about approximately when she should be back. If she's not there, then something must be going on. Make sure that you also, this wasn't one of my original tips, but make sure that you have some type of portable charger, because the worst thing that can happen is for you to travel somewhere and, i.e., forget your charger and don't realize it until you get there, or for you to be out somewhere and somewhere away from your hotel or Airbnb or wherever you choose to stay, and your phone dies, and now you're stranded there because you're somewhere where you can't just readily take a cab or a taxi or something, like you need to call a Lyft or Uber, or you have to call a taxi to come and pick you up. You need to make sure that your phone is charged. So just bring a little portable charger. You can get them probably on Amazon, but pretty much any little electronic store, cell phone store should have a portable cell phone charger that you could use. Just buy one, keep it in your purse or backpack or fanny pack or whatever you carry, just in case your phone starts to die or get low or whatever. You don't want your phone to go dead while you're out and about, and now you don't have any means of communication. So be mindful of that. Have a portable charger. That's pretty much it. Thanks for joining my live.